What's up, guys? It's the Faruqi brothers back with another video, but today the normal Build Different stream is going to be turning into the Deck the Hall of Justice stream as we continue a full day of raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's been an incredible job that you guys have been doing so far. We've seen, you guys have already broken the milestone. Honestly, 500,000 got raised just 2 streams ago on League of Mayhem. So big kudos to you guys. Congratulations. You guys have been doing an awesome job. But the fight doesn't end. There's still more to donate. And if you have a few dollars, definitely do so. So again, you'll see the link in the description below. It's also in the pinned comment on the chat and the regular comment. So check it out. Donate what you can, even if it's a little bit of money, whatever you can. And if you don't have the means to donate, don't worry about it. Share whatever you can, retweet, like, whatever you can do to help the fight makes you as much of a hero as any of these characters that we see in the movie, if not more heroic. So definitely do your part. As always, I'm your host, Shiraz Faruqi. I'm joined by the Faruqi bros, Zian, Umar, and Samir. And we got a special guest today. We got it's been a little trend you guys have been seeing that we want to push artists first for this stream. And one of the artists we want to put out is our own Mr. Rhyme. He rhymes slim. You guys know him. He's been putting out some amazing art these last 4 years. So let's bring him in, and he's going to be doing some illustrations for us, right? He's going to be quiet in the beginning, but as he draws, you're going to be seeing some great stuff. I'm going to be, once in a while, blowing up his layout, so you're going to see kind of he's working on it. Here's his hello message. And we're going to go through the topics. We have a bunch to talk about, but first, let me go through the chat and check on what all you guys are doing right now. So your 13th hour. This is amazing. Like, that probably shows the kind of commitment you're putting on to help and help all these streams, but also help Zack Snyder. So we appreciate you. And just going through the comments again, people are being very kind. Yep, we're trying to accomplish wonders. Exactly. And you donated $100. So the Bat Channel, thank you so much for that donation. $100 has been added. So this is good stuff, And yep, Deck the Hall. Let's donate. What's going on, Anthony? Appreciate you. So we got a bunch going on, but again, link is in the description. Ohio Dave's in the house. We got a bunch of stuff for you today. So and there's a lot to come forward. So we're gonna go through everything. If the link is not in the description, I might just throw it up there right now. I thought I had it, but let me just toss it right now for you guys. I might toss it with my personal account, but you saw that. Whoa, wrong link there. But let me just delete that one. Yeah, so I dropped the stream log by mistake, but it's all good. We'll go around that. But we're going through the stuff. Little technical difficulty am I going through everything, but let me just catch that one. Where is it? Do not see it. Either way, so let me get you guys the actual donation link in the comments. But of course, it's in the description. Let me throw it out there, right there. All right. So just through the donation link, definitely check it out. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and we're gonna be going through all the stuff. And thank you, an amazing donation again. People have been putting in the work, so really appreciate these super chats. All of it will be going straight to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So, and for those of you guys who are new, who are just seeing us for the first time, yes, we are the Faruqi brothers. So the 4 of us as a family have been doing this for multiple years now. And we're a big part of, this entire fandom, part of the Comic Book Debate family. You've been seeing all the streams today. Every single stream, almost every single stream has had a Comic Book Debate team member, including people like Meg, people like Fatma, people like the Nerd Queens. So these people have been on our team. Kwamani from the morning, Aaron, also some multiversity. So a bunch of cool stuff's going on. And then the artwork, for people are asking the artwork. This is our man Rhyme Slim. If you guys know him, he's doing some good stuff. Let me just blow him up right now so you guys see what he's working on. So he's gonna be doing some stuff throughout. So he's gonna be putting up some good work, and we're definitely gonna be checking in on him throughout the next hour. Actually, we're gonna keep it quick. So again, Deck the Hall of Justice. We're raising money for AFSP. So we want to start with the most important thing and keep that important thing at the front. And that's donating money for AFSP. And I've been very clear on this from the beginning that this is more important than even getting the movie, getting the Snyder Cut. That was great. That was all good stuff. But nothing truly beats actually saving lives. And Zack has said this multiple times on various streams that you guys, the fans, have saved lives by donating the amount you have. And the fact that you have put out $500,000 for AFSP, that's absolutely amazing. It's inspiring. We're inspired. So we appreciate you guys for that. And this goes in the next thing, which is like the power of Zack Snyder's fandom. And I'm probably going to give this one to Zion and kind of speak on kind of how this fandom has separated itself in the kind of good work that it's done these last 2-3 years. Like, tell me about, like, from your perspective, just seeing all that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So since the beginning, I mean, this is all been about Zack's family following the tragedy of what happened in 2017. And we all came together. Obviously, it was for getting Zack to have his vision come forward. But even more than that, it became a place where we can highlight this issue of suicide and come together and make something happen and bring people together in awareness and raise money for a good cause. And that's kind of become, like, I don't know, like, use the word true north. It's become the true north of this fandom. And it's something you don't see in any other fandom. You take MCU, you take Star Wars, you take any of these other fandoms. They don't have this kind of unity in this one thing, one charitable organization, one movement. And so it's so great to see that over the 2.5 years, over almost $500,000 have been raised, which is just insane. If you really think about it, these are fans, regular people, not like millionaires and people like that who have tons of money. These are regular, hardworking people who came together and raised money for this important cause. And it's so amazing to see that even now, after all this time, it's still going on. It's still going strong because the fight doesn't end. So every step we do, every dollar is donated. Every time the link is shared, that's potentially another life saved. So just keeping the fight going, I think it's an amazing thing. It's a really special thing. And you can't take it for granted what this fandom has done and it's continuing to do.
And Zion, your words have started the fire train. Everyone is putting up them fire emojis, and people are definitely feeling what you're saying. And it's very interesting that the way people show up for Zack, like, it is, and it shows. It's also just a testament to Zack as a character, as his character, because really, no other director has this kind of relationship with the fans that Zack does. This is something like unheard of in the industry, where one director has that one-on-one relationship. It's not even like, oh, he'll tweet something nice or he'll talk to the whole fandom. He has full Q&A sessions almost weekly on Vero. He's discussing people. Look at today, he's jumped on so many streams to have that one-on-one connection, and that's why people gravitate not just towards him, but his films, because they convey the same message. They convey the same truth, that it's like, we're all in this together and we're all gonna work together. That's what it matters, right? So definitely, if you like the work that Zack has done, then show your support by helping his family. So the tribute fund, it's raised an incredible amount so far. I'm just gonna update it right now and see how much is raised. So, like, right now we're at $36,111 raised. The goal is $50,000. So let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Again, if you have friends, you have family, you want to drop that link to them on your individual Facebooks, your Twitter, your personal pages, do so. Let's get the word ball rolling. Let's get people going. I've definitely done the same. I've been throwing out there for people to be like, listen, if you want to donate, this is a good cause. There's some good stuff. But we appreciate you guys. And that's why we want to do this stream, and why, again, shout out to Nicotina also for setting this up, but for inviting us also, and giving us a chance to be a part of it. So we're going to go through a bunch of topics. We're going to keep it our normal, built different Faruqi Bros way. But let's go through, let's check on Rhyme some ones. Actually, the comments for you, Rhyme, are great. People are already asking that, like, that your tracing job is great. Amazing job. Nice art. People are always complimenting you. And if you haven't checked his work out, so much of comic book debates, art and promotional material comes straight from Mr. Rhyme Slim right here. So he's been part of our team for almost 4 years now. So we're talking about, literally day one. So definitely we appreciate that. And he's working hard. He's doing his stuff, going through the stream. And then people are donating super chat. Our friend Mick, You know, thank you, man, for donating, being a part of this. $4.99 coming. People are putting whatever they can. $15 there. So we appreciate everybody who's putting in just a little bit. Whatever it is, you put in a little bit, you make a big difference. So that's what it's all about. That everyone's been donating. So again, thank you to everybody who's been putting in the work. We're making a lot. The money's going up as we speak. So we really appreciate you guys for stepping up to the plate and definitely doing that. And actually, right now in front of you, let me put in 50 of my own on that. Let me just put that right there. It's processing on Apple Pay. So let me get that going right there. And well, it's going up. Yeah. So you're gonna see that coming from me very soon. So there's some good stuff on the way. Good stuff. And I want you guys to be part of that throughout this process and show that, you know, we're right with you guys. And that's kind of the journey of Comic Book Debate, funny enough, because we started out like you guys, as in we started out as fans. Like that's, and to the heart, we're always going to be fans. But, you know, if you go back to 2016, what Comic Book Debate was, right? It's like we were just a fan hub for people to come together and to debate and have fun and show their opinions, especially in a time where the DCEU fandom, the Zack Snyder fandom, they didn't have the kind of power they do right now. So we tried to definitely do our part with creating the site, creating the platform, and then just seeing how many people have taken that and ran with it, you know? And that's the stuff that I think is most important when it comes to these things, where everyone is coming through together and doing the right thing. And Mr. Scott McClellan, appreciate your comment, man. We're all in this together. That's the main thing. That's the main thing I want to show, especially with me, is that I want to be right there with you guys through each step of the process. And you know that when it comes to telling the biggest stories or whatever the case might be, I'm going to be there on the front lines with you guys and do it. That's what the Snyder Cut fandom's all about. And the comments everyone's been going through. So Fatma, a great part of our team member, she's been on a bunch of streams today, putting in the hard work. So we really appreciate the kind of work you've been putting in, and also complimenting Ryan, who we're going to check on the next 10 minutes or so. And yes, I am the Shiraz who wrote that article. And I can't talk about that article in particular right now, but you know what it is. You know, we're putting, you know how it is. That's all I can say. But everyone is obviously, they know what it is. It's Us United. It's for Autumn. You know, why we fight. These are the hashtags. Definitely keep it going. Keep it going. Let's now get into some conversation again after now that I looked at the comments for a little while and see where we go next. So obviously, let's talk Zack Snyder's Justice League on IMAX, right? I think we all want to see this on IMAX. We've been wanting to see it, and things are working out in a special way for us to be getting that IMAX release. And that starts with first the release itself, which is coming in March, right? And we had word of this for a little bit, and it's good to know that finally, you know, Zach's been putting out some confirmations out there. Ray Fisher's been putting a little bit of confirmations out there. So we really appreciate that it's coming to light, and a lot of people who have been spreading the good word and getting it out. The one thing I have to say about it is Umar Dip. He's actually, I'll give an explanation for Umar right now. He's actually been traveling. So just to make it here, he's actually in the back of a car to make it, but he will be in and out as he has some service issues. But the three of us will be handling in the meantime. But to talk Justice League, we're talking about the March release. And I think it'd be very poetic. I think March is a very poetic day, a month actually, for Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out for many reasons, but mostly because BVS, you know, Superman died on March 25th, 2016. He hasn't come back yet. So I would say that sometime in that week, hopefully end of March or something like that, would be a great time that things can happen. And again, people keep donating, keep doing your thing, keep making your stand on that. But Zion, I'm going to hit you up this again, the March release. Like, why do you think it's a good fit? But also you can tie in how this might work out for IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like you said, it is poetic because March 25th, 2017, or I mean, not 2016, we had BVS, which was like the hallmark film. I know a lot of people actually became a huge Zack Snyder fan from that film. And we obviously knew from prior and from Man of Steel, stuff like that. But BVS is like a uniquely special film on its own. And so this is like the true follow-up to that film that we obviously have not gotten, because none of us consider 2017 just to even exist at this point. So this, I mean, it would be poetic just to bring everything full circle and just like wrap it all up in like a bow. Hopefully it works out that way, and we see how the pandemic things are getting better, and there are options, there are possibilities where there will be limited theatrical release for that film, which will be insane. I mean, if you can, if it's safe, that's the way you should watch the film, because it's going to be a beautiful IMAX. Obviously, we know the ratio he's already making it is made perfect for an IMAX viewing. So if you can, you watch in the best way possible, which is in theaters. I know we're going to try to do it if we can. I mean, but just seeing how far we've come since BVS, since those early days where things were so simple, and how we've come together as a fandom. I mean, it just means a lot now that 4 years later, on the same day, we finally get to see this man release his true vision for his saga.
Right, and I'm definitely there with you on all those points, and people are noticing that Full Metal in the back. So I was gonna say that you gotta step up. One of the greatest anime of all time, if not the greatest. I might put it out there, though Samir might disagree with Attack on Titan doing its thing, but I definitely think that what the fandom has been doing these days is in no part an inspiration, and I think seeing how things are going to keep going the next few weeks, honestly, especially the first 2 weeks of January, where I think we're gonna getting some really good stuff after Wonder Woman kind of wraps up its initial cycle. But there's some awesome stuff on the way, and I'm gonna take this next topic a little bit, and that's talking about Justice League on IMAX. So we all want it to come on IMAX, but this closely aligns with the greater conversation about theaters, about HBO Max, about Warner Media moving its entire slate for 2021 to HBO Max, right? And then obviously the controversy around that is absolutely been burying Warner Brothers a little bit, and they've been a little behind the head on the heels. They didn't think that would happen. From my understanding, they were very much certain that when they pulled that move, that Disney and Universal, etc., they'd be right behind them doing the same thing. But while they are doing something similar, if you pay attention to Disney's Investor Day, they are putting a lot of attention, if not the priority, on streaming. They did it arguably in a much more consumer and industry friendly way, rather than Warner Brothers did it a little bit. They did it a little quickly, and obviously things happened the way they happened. But one of the interesting better consequences of that is that Zack Snyder's Justice League on IMAX is actually a bigger possibility, because I mean, to think about it this way, if all theatrical movies can go to theaters, well, the inverse should be possible as well. And getting a movie that's made on HBO Max that was originally meant for theaters, let's call it what it is, and put it on the big screen, well, that's going to do what it is. And of course, pandemic restrictions aside, people like us in New York City, us watching is going to be a long shot, even for March. But we will definitely want to see it there in the biggest screen possible. And hey, one day, like Zach's been teasing on prior streams, that listen, things it could be a triple feature, between BVS getting its remaster as well on IMAX. So I think it's definitely really cool that these movies are coming out in the way we want them, and it's cool. It's a cool consequence to see. But for this next part, we want you guys to be a little involved, and this is kind of be an offshoot of what Moldiversity did in the morning, where they kind of fought every single Snyder film together in the Release the Snyder Cup challenge. If you guys missed that in the morning, definitely check their channel out and see what they did there. But I want to do a little rapid fire between Man of Steel and BVS, since we are comic book debate, but also we have some different opinions between Man of Steel and BVS. So I want you to sound off in the comments a little bit. Let me see what you guys are saying. Is it Man of Steel or BVS? What's the better movie? What's the better Zack Snyder movie? So I want to hear what you guys say on that. But Zion, if you want to take it for a minute and give me your thoughts, that'd be great as well. So Zion, take over and tell me what you think, and then we'll go Samir after.
Listen, I mean, for me, I think BVS is like the greatest or the second greatest comic book film of all time. And it's not just because Batman was there and how insanely amazing he was, but just how the film was, the tonally, the thematically. I think it was just a beautifully done film, beautifully written as well. And it tackled a lot of problems. It tackled a lot of things that you don't necessarily see going on with superheroes. It's good. It was an interesting thing, and it was good to see superheroes, these large and left characters, also struggle. Like, you see, they have their own internal struggles, and you want to root for them, want to see them rise up. And I think BVS handled that perfectly for both Superman trying to find his place in the world, and for Bruce Wayne, who's at his lowest point, and realizing where he is and how he can come up from that, from the shadows. And I think it was just done so perfectly in theatrical and ultimate cut, even though the ultimate cut obviously is more fleshed out, more connective tissue. I think both are amazing, both are perfect. And in my opinion, I think it was better than Man of Steel. Not to say Man of Steel is bad, because it's also an amazing film, but BVS is just unmatched in almost every category.
Samir, what do you think? But I think you're going to disagree with not only Zion, but every single comment going down the list. Almost no one's picking Man of Steel, except some people are, our boy Sean. But I think Samir, you and me might be on the same page. Let me just add Umar in quickly. But give me your thoughts. Which one's better?
I'll have to say Man of Steel is better. I just like the tone of the movie more than the BVS tone. I think the BVS was just a little more darker than Man of Steel. And well, Man of Steel is a Superman movie. It's about hope, of course. That's why I think Man of Steel is better overall.
Right. Zion, take it from me a second. There's a little bit of sound issue on my end.
But Superman, the whole point of Batman v Superman was them coming, like, it's like the middle point in the journey. Like, they're at their lowest. You have Superman at his most like vulnerable state after killing Zod, wrestling with who he is in the world, how people are perceiving him, half hate him, half almost worship him. And then you have Batman, who's almost like this extremist type version where he's like completely broken down. The whole point is seeing them rise up to where they need to be, and it leading into Justice League, this new world. It's called A Dawn of Justice for a reason. So the whole point of Batman v Superman was them being in like this low point. So don't you think like the way they handle that, it was pretty good too? Still, like BVS is still a really great movie in your opinion.
All right, Umar, let me get you in if you can hear me. Tell me what you think between the two.
I hear you. Yeah. Well, I think this. Obviously, like everyone's biased in their own way, but for me, I think Batman v Superman is a lot better than. It's not a lot better, but it's better than. It's a hair better than Man of Steel. I felt like the story for me was a lot more. There's a lot more power in the story. Like seeing characters that are, larger than life be basically brought down to a reality as real as you can make their reality, right? So, I think that's the power in his interpretation of these characters, is that they're not boring. Like everyone says Superman, and a lot of people say Superman's boring, and to be honest, I agree with them. And a lot of the iterations have been boring because he doesn't go through anything. He just wins. He just shows up and he wins. I felt like Man of Steel also played into that. I feel like specifically Batman, how broken he was and kind of how he lost himself. I feel like a lot of the audience that have gone through anything like that in real life would really feel a connection to that Batman. And I mean, it plays a larger role in like, with the charity stream that's going on right now. Like, even seeing a hero in that mental space, feeling like he doesn't understand what the hell's going on, he just doesn't know what's going on. He's down, he's broken. I think that's huge for people to see that, to relate to these characters. I think that's huge, and I would rather see that, see a lot of that. I gravitate more towards the power of that storyline, more than Man of Steel. Also, I do think the visuals are better, and I also think the score is like, come on, man, you're getting a lot more score. It's just a lot more in the world. It's DC. It's a bigger thing. It's like all of DC's now. It's the start of what DC was gonna become, and obviously with Zack Snyder's Justice League, we'll see what happens. So for me, BVS is better, like from start to finish. Especially the Ultimate Cut.
Right. I think it's interesting because for me, Numer, you can mute yourself as I get into my point. For me, I would have to side with Samir and just be like, it's Man of Steel. And I actually have love for both these movies. Obviously, you read my reviews. I write about them ad nauseum almost at this point. But Man of Steel speaks to me differently. And it was talked about this also in the morning on The World's Finest. And it's like, not only because I'm a Superman fanboy and it's going to speak to me, but there's something about that movie which encapsulates everything about Superman that I think a fan would like, no matter what generation you're from. So despite, obviously critics are going to be critics about it, and I'm a critic myself, so I know kind of like some of the mentality that they use when approaching these movies. But just because this movie's not Richard Donner Superman doesn't mean it's not its own thing. For me, it's the top superhero movie ever, and that's because it has the perfect mix of tone, action, drama, the origin story, perfect origin story. Whole nother debate if you want to talk about the best origin story movie of all time, because between Spider-Man 1, Batman Begins, and Man of Steel, you're talking about some big stuff. But our boy Kwamani Q, BVS actually won the championship in the morning for the stream. So most people are thinking BVS, and we actually have a question that, in the BVS IMAX version, which scenes are you excited to see expanded? And I can't wait to see where Doomsday does the energy burst. I definitely think there'll be some small moments here and there that it could be added in. I think there could be some cool stuff on the way. For me, we saw BVS in what you call True IMAX here in New York on 66th Street, Lincoln Square in New York. I don't know if you guys have been there, but that's one of the biggest screens in the entire country. And when you see IMAX on that screen, then nothing else compares after. And we got a chance to see BVS on that screen. And when it opened up for the nightmare scene, for the Batman vs Superman fight, for Superman's death scene, for the funeral scene, it just looked absolutely gorgeous. And if we can get a full treatment of the film completely in 4:3, I think it would be crazy, and it'll sit beautifully with BVS with Justice League rather when it comes out. So I think there's some really cool stuff, and people are saying the same thing. The opening scene getting remastered with Beautiful Lie, I think, will look absolutely beautiful, and the Nightmare, of course. So definitely good stuff. It was a 2-2 split, Man of Steel and BVS from the bros, but the chat has spoken, and for them, it's definitely BVS. So let's take a break there and check up on Ryan. Let's see how things are going. Let me make his screen bigger. He's going full on with Superman right now, doing some good stuff. Ryan, what's going on, brother?
I'm fine, man. How are you?
Doing well, man. You have a lot of fans. You have a lot of fans in this chat, brother. We hear you.
Yeah, I've got the chat open on my laptop, and I'm actually like quite surprised. It's like,
so
wow,
why
okay.
don't you zoom in?
Like, thank you for that. Like, again, like, Spiros, like, thank you, man, for like asking me to do this as well. So
why don't you zoom in on what you wrote there? What you wrote there with BVS.
Oh no, so I was writing, like, as you guys were talking about, I was like saying, how it's Man of Steel for me, but then, how BVS is sort of okay, but then you got Lex, and what Jesse Eisenberg did with Lex, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll have to give.
A lot of
they're
people
more
do
equal
hold
to
them
me.
back to back, but this art's looking great. It's really coming together nicely, and this will also be auctioned off for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So if you're interested in a print like this when it's done, definitely reach out to either me or directly Ryan or DM Comic Book Debate, and we'll find a way to get that to you. So good stuff on the way. We'll check up on you in a few more minutes. So we're going through it fast. Obviously, we at Comic Book Debate, we talk fast. We have a 1-hour stream where everything goes fast here. We're New Yorkers. You got to bear with us. But if you enjoy what we're doing, definitely hit the subscribe button. Stay with us longer. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff, not only today, but in the future. And I can't give up every project, but we have a lot of cool projects in the work for Comic Book Debate. I'm absolutely excited to hear about it. And the comments are going crazy. Obviously, Ryan Simmons is a GOAT. We do agree with that. He definitely is the GOAT. So let's transition out from that and talk about what Patty Jenkins said in an interview. And she said that the third act of Wonder Woman was changed at the last minute, right? And this is something that now it's almost becoming par for the course, especially for that stretch of 2016, 2017, 2018, that 3-year stretch, I would say, where things were getting changed a lot, right? So I want to get your thoughts on this. Maybe we could start with Umar if he wants to give a thought. Because we did say the whole time, we loved Wonder Woman, but that third act, was the only part which stopped it from being what you would consider that, the 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 type of comic book movie. So give me your thoughts when you heard that Patty confirmed what most of us already knew, that that last act was changed pretty heavily at the last minute.
It sucks. It sucks to see that director again has been, their vision has been kind of messed with. I think obviously after Batman v Superman, there was a reaction to that film, and I think people got scared. So then they, Suicide Squad also got destroyed. Wonder Woman, we got the two-thirds of it that was kind of amazing, and we loved it. And it's not to take a shot at the third act, but obviously it would have been way, way better if we did get a chance to see the original third act that they wanted to release the Jenkins cut. They should probably think about that, actually. But yeah, I mean, it would have been amazing to see that full third act, because without that, if you're not respecting your directors, man, what as a studio, at the end of the day, we the Fruki Bros can't stand with you, because we have a big, our thing is about justice. So at the end of the day, even when it comes to movies and making sure that a director's vision is put to the screen properly. That's huge for
Right, and Xian,
who we are as people. So we definitely
yeah, Umar,
would
you
have
might be cutting a little bit.
loved to see.
I'll be cutting a little bit, Umar. So we might put you back on mute, and we'll give Xian the chance to jump back in. He's cut out towards the end a little bit. So Xian, continue Umar's thought, because his thought is all of our thoughts, honestly. And again, excuse Umar, he's in the middle of driving. So Xian, take over and tell me what you think about that. Just Patty Jenkins saying this, I think it does resonate. So give me your thoughts.
I think really it's a great thing to see is that she's empowered. She feels confident enough where she can speak out that, okay, the movie that was released was not her initial or perhaps intended vision for the third act. And as we know, like, it would have probably been more in line with the story weaves and threads that Zack Snyder left or created in Batman v Superman, where Wonder Woman kind of distanced herself from reality. I know it seems like they're going to be going towards not reality. What I'm saying, from like public sight and the public eye, and the whole thing of Wonder Woman at the end, it kind of like fell apart. Where maybe perhaps originally what she saw, that this wasn't like Ares and this whole thing, it was actually human beings and their own innate nature to want to fight and to want to get into that things. And she would have been disheartened and been like, what, like, this world is like a dark world and obviously not a perfect world, and might have wanted to step back from it a bit. And obviously in the movie, she's like, oh yeah, I believe in love, and it's like more of a happy message and a more hopeful ending where, all right, she's there, she's doing stuff. Perhaps it would have been a much more serious ending in Patty's original ending, and they had that change to be more hopeful, more light, and more tonally like acceptable, I guess, for the public audience, coming from the backlash that BVS had and provided. As far as the implication it has for the future, I mean, it could mean if she wants to pursue a cut. I don't think it's likely, but I mean, it's possible that maybe a director's version will come out, or maybe in a future box set or DVD type release, if they bundle this with Wonder Woman 84, they'd be like, all right, there's an additional scene where this was the idea of what her original ending was going to be. Those things are possible. I don't think necessarily she's going to say, I want my original cut released, since she's already moved forward with Wonder Woman 84, and now she's doing a thread there. But it's interesting to see that she feels empowered, and obviously it's a great thing to see that these directors are coming forward saying, all right, this, and that were not the vision I had intended, but I had to move forward.
I find it very interesting that now that she's obviously part of the Disney side of things, working on Star Wars, she's been a little more open about her time at Warner Bros. Not only kind of giving her thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League, but talking about Wonder Woman and talking about Wonder Woman 84. And she does, even Wonder Woman 84, she said she had a slightly longer cut even than what they had. So she is someone who's being a little more open than she was previously. And I think that's very interesting to think about, that people like her, who might have gotten a little bit of a bad rap from parts of the fandom, that, oh, why is she saying this or why is she saying that? Well, now you get a sense that, when things are opening up, when you're allowed to say stuff, well, what do you say when the time comes to say something truth? And now I think she's talking very truthfully and from the heart. And Wonder Woman, people who watched other cuts or reportedly watched other cuts when they were test screening different movies, I mean, they all mentioned that the original version of Wonder Woman was very much a more minimalist, maybe that's not the right word, but a more minimal ending, not as extravagant with the CGI. And the fight with Ares was much more ground and pound. Some people described it to being similar to Superman versus Zod. And the ending would have lined up closer to what BVS intended, because Patty actually said that, I like to keep my films in line with whatever Zack did, because the two of them collaborate, and Zack collaborated with Patty also. They support each other as obviously collaborators and friends. So it's very interesting to see that now she's kind of going back and saying, well, that third act, I can see why people didn't like it that much, because I also didn't like it that much, So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see what will come next on that end as we go forward. So let me go through some of the comments right now and remind you all again of why we're here. Let me just put it up there. We're here with the Deck the Hall of Justice. We're raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So you know what it is. We are the numbers going up as we speak. Let me just refresh that and read it. So we're already up another few $100s, and that's not even counting the super chat. We're at 36,321. Last time I checked with you guys, we were at 36,010, something like that. So we went up another 300 there. And then when you look at the super chats people have been putting in, and of course any money coming from monetization, which I'm pretty sure turned off, but things have been glitching for everybody because I turned super chats off as well. So I don't know how that's all happening, but nonetheless, every penny of it will be going towards the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So that number will be going significantly more higher when you look at the donations we've gotten today just on our chat. So good stuff, guys. We appreciate you. You guys have been doing a great job, and people putting in the super stickers and donating. Rest assured, it's all going to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We're all in this with you guys, but there's a lot of good stuff on the way. A lot of good stuff on the way. So let's look at the chat right now, see what kind of comments people have, what kind of questions people have. Someone asked, what cameos from other DC live action properties can you expect to see in a Flash movie? I think, obviously we're getting Michael Keaton as Batman, and there's some rumors about Linda Carter maybe coming up in the Flash. Also, there's some rumors about the Brandon Routh one. I don't hold as much. That might be more of like a very lighthearted rumor. Obviously, there'll be surprises in the film, and I'm excited to see who shows up in what ways. And some other comments with the recent rumors of the Snyderverse being adapted to comics. That's still a thing where I can see the original version of these films being adapted to the comic medium. That's an interesting point, Jesse, who's also actually on our team. I think it's to be a mix of both. I think what we're getting for the comic side, we heard that Scott Snyder was approached for it, but he had a couple of things on his plate. I would not be surprised if other people were reached out to other high-profile comic book writers and artists to do this. We know Jim Lee has been absolutely crucial to the release of the Snyder Cut, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's helping on that end. But when it comes to Justice League 2 and 3, a lot of people have been asking. I think I would hold on. I think I wouldn't hold my breath for being a comic adaptation. I would actually think we're closer to getting something as sequels, actual sequels. And the way money is being distributed in this streaming age, it's literally monopoly money. So it's being spread out fast, and things will happen. So definitely get ready for it. It's gonna be great stuff throughout the day. How many lanterns do we think we're in Jackson or Justice League? Well, we'll see. I mean, I would love to see Jon Stewart personally, but we'll see exactly what Zack has planned. And I said this on Dave's vodka stream last weekend, that we haven't seen Zack throw all his chips in the basket yet. We haven't seen everything. And I know we've gotten used to the concept of being fed kind of like very regularly, like, oh, here's a screenshot, black and white screenshot. Here's a little tease. Here's what Zack teases on Justice Con, right? This stream, as ambulance passes, it's New York City, it's loud. But what I think you guys are not 100% understanding is that Zack has only tipped the iceberg of what's really going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're talking about 4.5 hours. We're talking about close to 5 hours of something. Like we're talking about a huge series and film now. But and there's be a lot of good stuff on the way. So we want you guys to be excited for that. But the point I'm making is that we haven't seen the tip of the iceberg yet. We haven't seen exactly what Zack is planning. So when it comes to Green Lantern, yeah, we got the logo on the official merch, but we haven't seen exactly what he's planning. Same with Martian Manhunter. We know a little bit, but we haven't seen his entire thing. And same with Joker. Whatever you're hearing, it's a little bit only of what really Zack has in store. So I'll be very excited to see what comes next if I were you guys. But good stuff all around. So let's talk some Mandalorian finale. But first, I'm going to ask the chat, do you guys want us to talk with spoilers, or do you guys want to talk without spoilers? Like, I don't know what you guys think about, but I'll give my non-spoiler thoughts. Or maybe Zion can actually ask you your non-spoiler thoughts, not on the finale, but about the whole season. Like, what did you think about the whole season?
I think as far as the whole season, I think it's actually it was really good. I mean, it was better than the first season in my opinion, and I feel like after the success of the first season, they were able to really do a lot more things that the fans have wanted, and they are probably planning to since the beginning, to really connect it more with the larger Star Wars universe. And we had our first live action Ahsoka appearance, which was huge, especially if you're a fan of the Clone Wars and a fan of the prior material, whether reading or even the older movies. You see a lot of connective tissue really be brought in the second season, and it really opens the door for the future of Star Wars. And we know from the Disney Investor Day, they're really putting a lot into the future of Star Wars. And The Mandalorian is obviously a gigantic part of why that's happening, because if it didn't have the success it's having right now, it obviously wouldn't be the type of hype it has, and the Disney wouldn't be backing as much as they do. As far as the season itself, I think it was really great. They really did a lot of amazing things. I know in the finale did something really insane that we all enjoyed, and it just shows that who knows what more they can do as they keep exploring this, just the show itself and further and future Star Wars projects.
Before I go to the next one, let's check up on Rhymes. Some people are asking to see, and we're all curious. So I'm gonna give Rhymeson the full screen and see what he's working on. He's still going through it, so obviously huge amount of progress. This guy's going fast, and we're talking about a 1 hour stream here, guys. So he's going fast.
So you guys are quite. You said you're quite fast as well. So I thought, you know what, I have to pick up my speed as well. So I can't be going slow.
No, you're going actually really fast, man. Listen, if I was doing this, it would take me 10 hours, and it would be not even 1% as good. So,
Thank you.
This is good stuff, and people in the comments are definitely saying it looks amazing. So you're doing a great job, man, and doing some shading work. I mean, this is some good stuff, and he's speedy. We're talking about comic book debate. We're all about going fast when it comes to these streams, and Rhyme is right on that when it comes to being on that level. But if you look at it, I mean, he's great. This is why he does our promotional material as well. He does a lot of stuff for us. Actually, let me show you what he did for us here. The actual Built Different logo, which I'm gonna put on the screen. Let me just exit the solo layout. Let me just that was the background. Okay, so yeah, don't see it. Okay, so it's all good. Here it is. So Built Different. This is what Rhyme did for us, the four of us. So for the Faruqi Bros, you'll see it right there. This is his work, man. The logos, the Faruqi logo is Samir and Zayan. The Comic Book Debate logo is from our original designer, Sin. And now the middle, the big blow-up logo of the four Faruqi brothers, that is all Rhymeslim. So this is the kind of stuff he does, man. And this is why he's big time. So
too kind.
Yeah. So let me get to... Okay, so people in the comments are mostly saying they want spoilers. So most people saying no spoiler, no problem with spoilers. It's been 2 days. Spoilers are fine. Spoilers. So people are okay with it. If you guys don't like this topic, we're gonna talk about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna stop talking about it. So we're just gonna go fast to talk about the big stuff, Mandalorian. This was trending worldwide the second it happened, but obviously, the Mandalorian is the Mandalorian. I won't show the picture, but we can talk about instead. So, Samir, give me your quick thoughts on the special guest who showed up at the end of Mandalorian, because people went all over the place with what it was. But tell me what you think about Mr. Luke Skywalker showing up in the Mandalorian season finale.
I think it was incredible. Caught me off guard. The fight scene was crazy. The CGI on his face, though, was not as good. It was. I think they could have worked on it more. It looked kind of like a Snapchat filter, if I'm being honest, but it wasn't too bad. The big reveal was incredible, though.
Right, Umar. What about you, man? What do you think about that fight scene? I think people, regardless of what you think about kind of the face, a lot of people were 100% on that fight sequence with Luke Skywalker.
It looks very similar to his father's fight scene in Revenge of the Sith, where he pulls up and basically mauls everyone at the end. So when he's already kind of dark side. So it was cool to just see the kind of parallel that they drew. I'd love to see. Obviously, it's all of us talked about this on previous streams. We're big prequel fans, so if they if they give anything that's even mimicking what happened before, it's like nostalgic for us, and absolutely loved that scene.
Zian, what about you?
Listen, I mean, yeah, Umar said it. Yeah, it was just Scott. He made a great comment in the chat. Yeah, it was a mirror to Darth Vader's scene in Rogue One. The way he just pulls up and he's like an unstoppable force, and I think it was so beautifully executed, because you see just a few minutes prior how much these normal, regular people, even Mandalorians who are innately better and fast, stronger than regular people in Star Wars, how much you're struggling with the Dark Trooper. And you see Luke Skywalker, they're like, oh, one ship is pulling up. How can this person help us? And he just pulls up and just rips them to shreds like it's nothing. And it's so cool to see just the difference between the power of the Jedi in this universe and how literally nobody matches up to him. And I think it was just beautifully executed. It was the polar opposite of Darth Vader pulling up in Rogue One and taking out the rebels. This is Luke pulling up to save some people and obviously get to Grogu, who either reached out to him through the Force or maybe Luke sensed through the Force. Obviously, it ended on kind of like a cliffhanger almost, where the Mando Din he gives up Grogu to go with Luke because Grogu actually wanted to. He was willing to go, and it was also a very emotional scene on the comics. We were talking about it. I think it was just beautifully done. I know Steven mentioned like the face was a little like iffy. Honestly, it wasn't. I get why it should look a little like plasticky at some points, but it just gets the amazingness of the scene and the fight sequence overshadows that, and it was just an amazing moment. So,
yeah, for me, I think I'm mostly down with close to what Zion and Umar was saying, and actually all of us in some degree. But I think that the VFX was obviously okay. I mean, we can debate the merit. I think some people think, okay, why are you doing it? Is it fan service or not? And we get to a whole discussion of what is fan service, what isn't. Is this pandering? Is it not? So that's something for the Star Wars fans too, the more diehard Star Wars fans. For me, for someone like me, who my favorite movies are the prequels, but yeah, my favorite parts of Star Wars is prequels. But I think that I'm a little more relaxed with Star Wars. Like I'm okay with everything. Like I don't necessarily hate any Star Wars movie, nor do I hate any Star Wars like show. So for me, I just enjoy everything very more in a casual sense. So for this one, it's just seeing obviously Luke do his thing and invoking a lot of Anakin, which is what I love most because some of his fight moves just felt Anakin to me, and that's all I want. Because I love Anakin Skywalker so much that any of those small things I like. VFX aside, it is what it is, and then we can talk all day about the future of Grogu, the future of Star Wars, but we only have 15 minutes left, and it's almost worth its own discussion down the road. So let's go back to why we're here. Let's do one more as we go to the last 10-15 minutes before we head into Dave's stream. So I think you guys should know, obviously, that we're getting closer and closer to the goal, right? So let me do a refresh for you guys right now. And we're still going up between the super chats. People are still donating between the thing. We're at 36,373. The super chat is still putting in some money, which is great. So I would say put another 200 on that of super chat, if not more. So we're doing some good stuff here, some good stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of how fast, like it's not for me. I know the next stream with the kind of stuff that Dave and Chris are bringing to the table, you guys are we're gonna get that money going even faster. But even if you don't reach the 50K, the work that the fans have done is absolutely incredible, and you guys are basically creating the legacy of many things. Not only the legacy of the fandom, but you're creating the legacy of this film, the legacy for Zack, the legacy of this tribute fund. So people are going to be talking about this for years and years to come. This is not something like, oh, we're doing it for one time. This is you're doing something for the history books right now. Like 500,000 plus donated for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This is not heard of for fandom. There normally ain't no other fandom doing it. So the fact that you guys are doing it is obviously very inspirational. So we appreciate you guys for that, and definitely keep on doing it. You can keep seeing the number right there. It's going up. People are donating, so we appreciate that. Let's take a break and go right back to Rhyme Slim and see what he's been working on. I'm going to give him a solo layout again. He's still going strong. I mean, Rhyme, let me see. Let the camera see the whole thing so far. Sorry to interrupt you in the middle, but
no, it's fine. Can you see it?
Yep. So, Rhyme, talk a little about your process. Like when you're doing something on the fly, like I told you last minute to kind of come through for this. So for someone who's doing it on the fly, what's your thought process when it comes to posing, towards drawing, towards coloring? Like you're going like speedy as we enter the last 10 minutes of this.
I don't know really how to explain. It's just like I'm just trying to achieve, like those old Bruce Timm or the old anime cartoons mixed with the newer, what's called DC movies based on the New 52. So I'm just trying to go for those kind of styles. And process-wise, it's just like, I don't know, just trying to block out everything that I'm picturing in my mind, and then just like sketching it out as much as possible. And then if it works, that's great. If it doesn't work, okay, then I'll have to like restart it all over again.
No, you're doing good.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask you as a follow-up question, brother. I was going to ask you that your DCAU influence, because you have a lot of Bruce Timm influence in all your art across the board, even from 4 years ago when you were kind of just starting out and showing your stuff on Twitter. I was noticing, like, this guy has a lot of Bruce Timm style. And did you grow up with those cartoons? Like, what did those mean to you? Because it does come through on your art when you draw it now.
I don't know. It's just that obviously, we all grew up on the Justice League series. Well, yes, and how I got into Superman because of I got into Superman because of Max Fleischer cartoons. And that was my entry into comics in general, and then the whole Spider-Man and X-Men cartoons as well. But Bruce Timm's, it's like just watching those series and just watching all your heroes, and then you're being introduced to all these newer side characters that I've never heard of. Like Booster Gold. Like I didn't know who he was before I watched that. Well, I technically knew who he was, but I didn't know what his story was or what his personality was until I saw that episode. That's why it's just such a huge influence in expanding the DC universe for myself and for a lot of others. Oh, crap.
Well said, well said. And it's great stuff, man. As I just exit you from the solo layout and we go back to us, and again, whatever Rhyme is drawing right now, it's going to be available if you guys want it. So definitely reach out and let us know. But everybody is definitely giving you some good vibes and letting you know that your art is great and people are enjoying it. So you're doing a great job, man. And you've been just as much of a part of it as any of us when it comes to raising the money. So we really appreciate you being with us for this short time.
Thanks, man. So I'm just happy that you asked me, even though, like you said, it was last minute. It was just awesome to be asked, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. It's like even if it's once in a lifetime, I did it with you guys, so that's awesome.
Nice. We appreciate you, man. But so going through it, we have 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left. So it's kind of be a bit of a free round now. We can talk if you guys want. You can ask in the comments, ask some questions if you want. We can talk about a bunch of things, but I'm going to leave it at the legacy of comic book debate and bring that up again, because I think it's important as we kind of go back to shout out the entire team, because the team that work with the Faruqi Bros are so important to what we do. And so I want to definitely take that second to be like, listen, the team and what they've been doing for us these last few years, working with us, and it's been absolutely amazing. And what people you saw today, they've all been part of the comic book debate family. Obviously, the Faruqi Bros, we do things as a family, so our team feels like they're part of it as well. So at the heart of it is the Faruqi Bros, and we're going to always be there to lead and help and support, but always in the behind us and even in front of us when the time comes is the team. So we appreciate anyone who's part of the Conway family, even if you wrote something for freelance once or twice on the side, even if you came in for a few months and you left. It's a bit of a revolving door sometimes with contributors coming in and out, but the main part of the team, they've been absolutely great. So we do appreciate you guys and appreciate everything you do for us. And of course, the support that you guys have shown to Comic Book Debate these last 3 years, nothing that we would have done as a family with this platform would have been possible if you guys didn't help us out across the way. So this includes in 2018 when we did the Black Panther challenge and we took 500 kids to see the movie on us. You guys helped with donating $5,000 in 3 days and helping it. That was you guys. And then we just facilitated the event and made it happen. And then the year later when we took the kids at the Children's Hospital and donated hundreds of toys, well, you guys were there for that too. And you guys helped us and donated thousands of dollars to us so that we can make that event happen. And then this year, unfortunately, we had an event this year planned, which was build wells in underserved communities. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to postpone that event. But so it's one of those crazy things. But I do think that next year there'll be a lot more fun stuff on the way and there'll be a lot more good stuff coming. But Zion, you want to give a quick 2-3 words about it and just let me know? Yeah, I mean, like you said, at the heart of I think it's like an echo. Sure. Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. So like at the heart of the comic debate, and since we started, we knew a huge a huge cornerstone of this would be to give back in any way to the community, to children, to anybody in need. We knew we wanted to be at the forefront. We wanted to use our platform to facilitate, push, create opportunities to give back. And that's what we've been doing. And to see it happening in the fandom as well is just such a beautiful and amazing thing. And it's something the Frugi Bros and I, we take to heart and take are very passionate about. And so anytime there's a drive or people coming together for a good cause, we'll be there. We'll be backing it. We'll be pushing it any way we can. And that's what Comic Debate is all about. And it's always been about and always will be about. So today has been a great day to raise money. And a lot of money has been raised since the beginning, since the morning and over the past few years. And just being a part of it has been an amazing experience. And I can't wait to see how we, as the Frugi Bros, move forward, how Comic Debate moves forward, and how as a fandom we move forward.
Well said. Umar, any words for the fans, the team?
Well, I can't thank the team enough, and the only thing I would say to the fans is keep it up. The 500,000 that was raised for suicide prevention, that's freaking amazing. So we gotta keep that up. And like Traz and Zion and Samir have said in the past, movies are movies. At the end of the day, we want to do stuff for people that are underserved. Everything else is kind of secondary in our approach as well to that. And like we've talked about before, for us, as Muslims, this is the biggest thing uh, for us to do in this space. I feel like this gives a chance to, also to people that have not interacted with us, that don't know who Muslims are like, and obviously what the media has said about us is not the greatest either. I think this also paints a different picture. So there's a responsibility here that needs to be followed on our behalf as the Faruqi brothers and whoever the Muslims are in the fandom. We have some on our team, and then also speaking to like the work that we've done so far, a lot of it does come from that end. So um, that for me, and I know for my brothers, that's one of the more important parts of what we're doing here. So all I can say is thank you for all the
I
people
just
that have
echoing and
donated.
appreciate all the kind comments. Everyone's been really nice. Of course, you want to stick around, you can always show up. We're every Sunday on the Built Different stream, doing our thing every Sunday night, 8 p.m. the same hour, 8 to 9 p.m. So you can always join. Yes, we are actually brothers, grew up together. Appreciate all the support. It means a lot. And then, like Fatma said, Muslim fans exist, and we're doing our thing. I think a lot of people don't really see it or really understand the full thing, but you see people are putting in the work, and people are coming through, and they're making their voice heard and putting the best foot forward. I think that's the most important thing, and it helps us, especially me, fight through the hate. There's a lot of hate that comes our way. We fight through it. We push forward. We persevere. I think that's the most important thing. But we really do appreciate all you guys. You guys are doing absolutely amazing, being supportive of us. And let's check up on Rhyme one last time as we wrap up the last 2-3 minutes. So let's put him on a solo layout. He's done an absolutely amazing job. Why don't you, Rhyme, if you hear us, blow that up as big as you can for everyone to see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Rhyme's actually the GOAT, fam. You can't even lie.
Thanks, man.
Now, the fact that you did that in 1 hour.
The Faruqi Bros that are the GOAT. It's like, come on.
No, the fact you did that in 1 hour, it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure you're gonna keep doing whatever cleanup you needed. And that's kind of like the artists. That's what you do. But we're telling you, man, from afar, seeing it, it's absolutely amazing, and everybody in the comment loves it. So we definitely appreciate you. And there's a lot. We want you to explain who's in the back. We're asking.
Yeah, it's Jonathan and Jorel, because like since my Man of Steel was mostly about his dad, I did want to include Martha. Like I was gonna include her like somewhere around here, since connected with Jonathan.
Right.
But yeah, it's Jonathan and Jorel.
Nice. That's absolutely beautiful. We really appreciate everybody who saw that. And again, Film Junkie and Chris Wong Swenson are not next. They are two of our good friends. They've done absolutely an amazing job with their own platforms. They are pioneers in this, and we've worked with them so many times over the last few years. We're going to continue working with them, but this is the last minute. We encourage you guys to go check out their stream. I'm pretty sure they got a fun guest coming on very soon, and there's a couple of projects for Comic Debate as well. I mean, all I'm saying, keep an eye on Comic Debate next week. Could be some cool stuff on the way. So we're at 9 o'clock now. From myself, from Zayan, from Umar, from Samir, from our boy Ryan. We're the Faruqi brothers. We're the Comic Book Debate team. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for raising money. You guys are amazing. Peace out.